Welcome to the Momentum Builder Podcast, hosted by Don Goettling, bringing you the top professionals, real stories, and proven success secrets that create unstoppable momentum. This is the show for housing professionals who want clarity, not clicks, where action, discipline, and consistency turn into real results. Top professionals, real momentum, real success. Let's get it started.
Welcome to the Momentum Builder Podcast, where we interview top leaders, trainers, and professionals to help you elevate your personal and professional lives. This is the true goal of Momentum Builder and my passion of giving back to the industry. You can see over 100 interviews on our Momentum Builder YouTube channel and check us out on Spotify, Audible, and iTunes. Today is a special interview with a top leader, and I'm excited to bring my friend Chris Welton to the show today. Chris is a performance coach, TEDx speaker, international best-selling author, leadership trainer, and host of the One Hand at a Time podcast, which I have been on. Thank you very much, Chris. And with more than 30 years of experience in sales and leadership development, Chris is known for helping individuals and organizations improve their personal, professional lives through resilience, accountability, communication, and mindset. And today's interview will be a powerful one with Chris as we share how to turn adversity into opportunity through mindset, leadership, and accountability. Welcome to the show, Chris, buddy.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure, man. I've been waiting for this day for a while. I saw it on the calendar a couple months ago. I'm like, let's go. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, it just shows how busy you are. It took us a couple of months to get you on the show.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, yeah. Between your coaching and your own podcast, it keeps you pretty busy, I would imagine.
Yeah, it does for sure. We run a pretty tight calendar, and the main reason is because we leave days during the week to work on the business and not in it. And they're non-negotiables. We don't schedule calls on certain days of the week because we focus on just trying to be better, right? So those days are days where we really dive in to try to be a better speaker and a better leader and a better coach and run our calendar that way.
And well, there's your first lesson, everyone. I hope you were listening. Just showing that there's dedication and accountability in his own life. And we're going to talk about that. That's where you and I aligned last time we spoke with how much you lean in, how you handle adversity, how you level up your game, and how you don't let any of these things get in your way. And, you've built a remarkable career helping people overcome adversity, achieve higher levels of performance. But your personal story and professional journey continue to inspire audiences as well as me around the world. And we're excited to have you here today to share that because it won't be the traditional, here's how to do more business call. It's really about changing your mindset to fully reach your potential. And that's why I love having Chris on the show today, because that's what he lives and teaches and follows on a daily basis. So let's start with, tell us a little bit about your background and what shaped you growing up, buddy, because I love them to get to know, my leaders, not just listening. I want them to know you, and therefore they trust you and want to learn more about you.
So I was born the son of a drug addict. I was born with a limb difference. My mom was addicted to heroin when she was pregnant with me. I went to, I think we counted the other day, I went to 11 different schools by the time I graduated high school. And I lived with 7 different families growing up.
Wow.
So we was in different households and different families and, bouncing around. My mom was in and out of rehab. And then at 11 years old, the courts decided I was old enough to take care of myself. So they let me go back to my mom. So that's when it got real fun.
You're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, well, here you go. So, and that's kind of the baseline for my life is that I was challenged from the start, right? I mean, I talked about the other day with somebody, I had the deck was stacked against me before I was even born.
No doubt.
And I know for sure that's what created the person I am today. Is that having these challenges in the beginning I faced the challenges early on, and I didn't know anything else other to do than survive.
And I love you sharing that, Chris, because what's important I've learned, and you have too, because you're on the stage as a speaker, you listen to speakers. One of the interesting things is a lot of times we see these speakers that are just very polished, very energetic, very inspirational on stage, but you don't always know the background, because I know I've been involved with a lot of success stories, in my own life with my education, my athletic background, business and all that. But, and then I'm on stage and like, you probably have knocked it out of the park your whole life. But like you, I've had plenty of adversity that kind of built my character and my strength and taught me, like you, how to overcome adversity and use it as an advantage. And I'd love you to kind of share when you first realized your challenges actually could become your strength, because all of you out there, guaranteed there's something you're challenged with. Always. I mean, life is dynamic. It's not all, a bucket of roses. We have challenges and things are thrown at us. So we need, the key is how you handle them. So I'd love to get your, take on that.
Yeah. Well, the first thing is I believe that you don't overcome adversity, you get through it. And the reason I say that is because if I overcome something, then it's kind of gone, right? Mm-hmm. But if I go through something, it becomes part of me and it's going to be there no matter what. And how can I use that to benefit me going further in life, right? So I'm a big believer in getting through adversity, not overcoming it. And the truth is, I was late into my 40s before I realized that everything I had gone through actually meant something.
Right.
And I was sitting in a room in Fort Lauderdale in 22, I believe it was January 22. And I was sitting there with Renee Rodriguez.
I love Renee.
And Renee helped me find my voice and my story and how important my story was to share, to impact other people. That's when I realized, and I started kind of peeling back the layers of not being embarrassed anymore by being raised by a drug addict. Because my whole life I would hide right from that. As you're growing up, you're like, no, I can stay at your house. You can't stay at my house because my mom's she was passed out on the living room floor when I left. So like, you can't stay at my house. But like, so we hid those things our whole life. And then we were never really honest with the people around us on who we really were, because we tried to protect that version of ourselves that was not damaged when we were severely damaged. So once I realized that I had a responsibility to help others who'd been through other things, regardless of what the severity of the adversity was, and to let them know that's part of their story, good or bad, then I realized I got to go all in on this. I really have to pour back into people and help them navigate this turbulence and help them shorten the span, right? Because I'm a big person into compressing time. I didn't open up my coaching business until I was 51 years old. And that's why I wrote my book, One Jordan, who's behind me. But like, that helped me compress time and meet people. So I hope to compress the time people actually have to deal with their adversity before they realize it's actually a building block, something they can build their future on.
That's huge, Chris, because, we all want more time, but we don't get it. We all have the same amount of time. So how we utilize it and leverage it is the big difference. And I love that, adversity can, weigh you down, can stop you, can paralyze you, can stress you out. So I'm curious of how you have learned and how you teach others to overcome it, not overcome it, get through it, because that is a good statement. Because overcoming it is like, they think maybe just ignoring it or moving on or doing other things, but really it's a transitional opportunity, I believe, because I love the book Gap and Gain. I'm sure you read it, where he talks about something different than we usually think of. So challenges, usually we're always thinking about our goals, where we're trying to get. What the Gap and Gain was, we're always going to have gaps, but what he teaches you, which is really Dan Sullivan, teaches you to look back at what you've accomplished. Mm-hmm. And that's something we don't usually do. Like, you're trying to lose 50 pounds and you're bummed because you've only lost 40, but you have to look back that you were 40 pounds heavier 6 months ago. So you're making progress. So a lot of times I think it's important to look back at your progress and believe in the processes too. What do you think on that?
Yeah, without a doubt. So my TED Talk, and one of the things that's going to be in my new book is what I call the adversity backpack. And it goes something like this. Everybody has this backpack. Nobody asked for it. Everybody's got it. And it's got everything that's ever happened to you bad in it, and it's on your back. It's there. And it weighs us down. It keeps us from making decisions, keeps us from going for something. It defines the definition we give who we are based off this things that we've been through, right? But what most people don't do, and what Gap in the Gain even talks about, but this is a similar concept. I call it receipts. Receipts, proof I've gotten through something, or proof something that in my life I made it through this, right? And now I'm facing something similar or something tough. I can pull a receipt out of that backpack and say, hey, we got it. We've been through something like this before, right?
Yep.
We've been through challenges before. Here's something to prove that we're ready. And that was the basis of my whole TED Talk, which was an unbelievable experience. Probably the most stressful talk I've ever given.
I bet. That's a big deal. Not everybody gets to do a TED Talk.
Yeah,
That's
it was a
any
big
speaker's
deal.
dream.
You're really scrutinized though on the scripting and the way you speak, and there's a lot of different things you have to be in line with. But I taught it to a group of financial advisors the other day, and I had them come back to me with their adversity backpack. What's in there? What's in it? So I would tell listeners today, spend some time, grab your notebook, write down the things that are in that backpack that are keeping you from making the decision, right? Keeping you from DMing somebody about an opportunity to get on stage, or calling that top producing realtor you've been trying to get in a relationship with, or asking that girl out on a date, or whatever it may be. You've got all this proof, all this stuff in here weighing you down, and then go find the receipts, right? Where did I win? What's the last time I won? What was the big thing I did? And I've got tons of receipts in there. My backpack is super heavy. It's why I do a lot of squats so I can carry it around. But I've gotten to a point in my life where it doesn't keep me from going after things anymore, keeping me from making decisions.
And Chris, that's very enlightening. Because it's funny is I think I love the idea of looking through your backpack and what's in there and how it's built you and groomed you and what you've gotten through that makes you stronger. You know, they always say, that, adversity makes you stronger, but it helped me because I'm in the middle of writing my book too. And the same thing, you have to peel back things and really look at your story. And all of you should look at your story too, because it really helped me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've gone through some stuff. And now I know why I am who I am and where my strength is, because everybody thinks, oh, Don, you've always been a top performer. But I was the smallest kid on the block. I got beat up literally every day until, this is a defining moment where my dad finally said, what idiot, why don't you, give them a pop in the eye once in a while? I'm like, because they're going to beat me up. He's like, idiot, they're already beating you up. If you give them something to think about, they may not beat you up every day.
Yep.
And what I found is, all right, so I fought back, and it was pretty tough because I was so small as a kid. And what I learned is I was the only kid on the block who could actually take a punch. Everybody else didn't know how to take a punch. So when I fought back, I'd pop them in the nose or the eye, and they'd be crying off and running off. I'm like, that's all you got? I deal with this every day. And they'd hit me and I'd be like, no big deal. But those are defining moments, that you can lean back on and go, hey, I got through that. I talk about my motocross career, and I'll give you one more story that I lean on. And it was, all the races I'd gone through, but there's a couple of races where there was a time in the middle of the race where I almost gave up, where I was, tired. My arms were blown up. I thought I was going to fall off the bike. 4 guys are on me. But somehow I regrit myself to just hang on just a little bit longer. The next turn, until I finally finished the race and won the championship because I didn't let that one person pass me. So it was a good learning experience that now I know I got through that and what I accomplished because of it. Now I can lean on. Do you agree with using your stories to help you get through adversity and feel powerful about it?
Every day. I use them every day. I mean, like I had a bad day yesterday. We had one of these challenging days, and I've got one of those wives who's like my biggest fan, but also she's like, no, you literally teach people how to get through something like this. What are you doing? I'm like,
right.
You're right. You're right.
But you're
So,
still a human.
yeah. So the stories, I mean, they're so powerful when they're the real stories, not these fake makeup stories people tell ourselves, right? But like, when it's stuff you've really done, I believe in putting myself in tough situations and tough challenges so I can create more receipts. Like I just competed at High Rocks back in November in Dallas, Texas. And those of you who don't know me, I'm an adaptive athlete, right? And I'm 53 years old. And if you don't know what High Rocks is, Google it. It's like one of the toughest physical challenges on the planet right now.
That's crazy.
And I competed, and not only did I compete, I won, right? So I got first place in my division. And,
That's badass.
but that's a powerful receipt, right? So if I run into a challenge, it's like, okay, well, I did High Rocks. Like this isn't anything, right? And
right.
and before that, I did the Goggins challenge where I ran 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. And I did it on my 50th birthday weekend. So I ran 2 extra miles just to say I did it, right? So like,
I love his
put
books, by the
myself
way.
in those positions to earn the receipts that are required for me to grow and get to that next level, and I think that people don't look at that enough. People don't look at what they've gotten through and what they've learned from it enough to get it there. I was just with John Maxwell on Saturday for a little while here in town. And
John, I've read about 15 of his books.
Yeah, John.
I sent John 40 books, I think.
Yeah, I sent John one Jordan, and we've become friends ever since we connected a couple years ago. But he was in town, and we were talking about his new book, which is to get a return on failure. Return on failure. Think about that, right? Like we got to fail and get a return on it. So I feel it's the same
Fail
thing.
Forward was one of my favorites. I think about it every day.
Yeah. So, yeah, I believe that being able to utilize the stories in your life, the things you've gotten through, make you who you are. And I call that the architect mindset, right? Like I have an architect mindset with adversity, and I use it as building blocks to build my future. I just stack them up. I got a solid foundation of adversity and build it from there. And it makes me really hard to beat. Like it's really tough to beat me. Because I don't quit.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to quit. Right. Like I don't have that in me. During High Rocks, I fell. During High Rocks, I fell when I was carrying the 40-pound sandbag on my shoulders doing lunges.
Jeez.
I fell because it slipped, and they tried to get me to stop. I'm like, no, I'm not going to stop. No, you don't understand. I trained for 6 months. I'm going to get up and finish this thing. Right. But I drew strength from my past. Like, where else have I been? Where else was I at when I wanted to quit last time? What did that look like? What did it feel like? Okay. All right, man, it sure would feel good to have a Gatorade and quit right now. But I'm like, nope, let's get up and push because it's going to feel so much better when we finish.
Okay. So I love the story because this is important, is that sense of accomplishment by overcoming, again, that adversity, that challenge that you have, because I know that feeling afterwards is phenomenal because I've had the same thing where I crashed in a motocross race and I was dead last, and I'm like, all right. And I could have given up, pulled in my bike, and I'm all banged up. My handlebars are crooked. I'm like, that's not me. Let's just see how I can do. Let's see how, how I can persevere and see how far I can go. And I was dead last with 30 people in the race. And I just kind of pursued. And at the end of the race, I didn't even realize it, but I passed all the way up to third place and ended up getting third overall in the world. Of anybody in my age group at 60 and over, I got third in the world. And it was only because I persevered. Otherwise, my outcome would have been disappointing with all the training, similar to you. I had all this training, all the prep to just throw it away. But my sense of accomplishment was more so than if I would have just gotten a great start and finished third. Pursuing through all that made me feel so good. And also, like you said, I love that you brought that up, because now I know I could pursue, I can get through so much adversity and so much challenge because I've done it so many times. And when you say that's a great mindset for people that have to reset when challenges happen, because especially in the housing industry, boy, do we get throw curveballs.
I was going to jump in right there with origination. Okay. So I am fortunate enough to coach several top 1% or 0.5% originators. I have several people that are doing over 100 million this year. Okay. And not because I got them to 100 million. Like, I'm going to be clear about that. I'm not here to take anybody's fire
Thunder.
what they did, right? I just help them stay focused and get on track to do those things. We all know how to close loans, right? We all know how to close loans, and sometimes some of us forget, but most of us know how to close loans and get business. We just don't do the work.
Boom.
Which is the big thing, right? We don't do the work, and then we're mad about the results we get from not doing the work. But when you're faced with adversity in the work in your business, you got to understand that's part of it. Why do you think they pay you so much money to close a loan?
Because it's hard.
Because it's hazard pay. Because it's kind of sucks sometimes, dude. Like get
Hazard
over
pay.
it. I mean, like when people are getting mad, oh man, this loan was so hard to close. I only made 13,000. You're what? Like, think about that for a minute. But like, they pay us that much because it's a difficult job. It's really hard to do. So go chase the hard, and the more hard you chase, the easier it gets, and the more loans you're going to close, the more business you're going to do. I mean, it's just.
I love that. I wish Gino was on this call, and my business partner, Gino Fronti.
Yep.
And it's funny, he will be laughing in his seat right now. He goes, oh my God, that sounds just like Don. So when I was grooming Gino, he was a rookie, and I groomed him up, and he's become, better than me. But at the time, he hated those tough deals. And I turn around and go, no, that's the good stuff. He goes, what are you talking about? This sucks. I'm like, no. The sense of I dig in, that's the good stuff. I love the fact that I'm the one who's going to solve that problem, and I get it through. And because I got it through, they're going to remember that, and they're going to be loyal to me from here on. So actually the tougher deals are the good stuff. And it makes you something about the easy deals anybody can do. It's the tough ones that you lean in on and get a sense of accomplishment from.
Yep. That's the difference between my top producers and then average people.
I was going to ask you that. What is the difference between a high producer, high performance leader versus someone else? I know you're kind of teasing it up prior to this.
They're consistently consistent.
Mm-hmm.
They do the work all the time, regardless of how they feel, right? They show up no matter what. And the other thing is they're known as experts in a certain area.
We
They've become an
had
expert
a call
in
yesterday
this
on
piece. Like I have 2 people I work with. One of them is going to close 55 deals this month.
Woo!
By himself, just with a support staff, but only one LO. Okay.
Still. 55.
And another one's going to close 51 deals. And these guys are in Little Rock, Arkansas, and Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh.
Okay. So it's not like they're in the LA or whatever, right?
Right.
But they're both experts in different things. And they're known for that. So people give them all the business that fits in that space.
That is smart. I would just, I don't know if you know Brady Thomas, but that's his message that he had on our Breaking 26 call was, I let my partners know exactly when to call me and why they should call me, and that I am the person that will solve that problem. He goes, they don't refer you deals, they refer you problems.
Mm-hmm.
So be the solution for their problems, and they'll want to call no one else but you. So I dig on that you should know who your clientele base is and what your expertise is. You can't be everything to everybody. I'm sorry. Then you're nothing to anybody. You're just a commodity. You agree?
It's the same in the coaching space, right? If you're a coach that wants to coach everybody, you're going to coach nobody. Like, it's just, you have to be dialed into who your avatar is and the people that you can help the most. And that's evolved for me over the years, right? Over the last few years, it's changed rapidly, right? And now I'm just really dialed in with the people that want to do the work and make things happen.
It's so funny you said that, Chris, because I'm on the same page. And everybody, you should listen to this, because you really should figure out who your clientele is and who you can serve best, but also who you want to work with. A lot of times we work with people we don't like working, or it's not something we enjoy doing. So don't do it. I love that saying, I'm going to work on my weaknesses so they're no longer weakness. No, work on what you're good at. Because nobody likes working on their weaknesses.
Then pay somebody to cover the weakness part. That's what I do.
Boom. Exactly.
This is my strength. Taylor, my assistant, does everything else.
And he's great, by the way. I communicate with him 98% of the time.
It's her.
Oh, it's a her.
Yeah. Oh, she's amazing. She worked with me at the mortgage company, and I brought her over.
Awesome.
She'll be with us in Dallas. So
Nice.
she's a superstar.
Nice. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So we talked about what mindset shift can my listeners make today that would immediately improve their lives? Because a lot of it's mindset.
Yeah.
You mentioned consistency. There's no doubt the consistency, because like Craig Davis, he's one of my coaches, and I'll have tough days, and he's like, just go back to your activities. If you know you're doing your activities on a daily basis, you know it'll be okay. So what kind of mindset shift can a professional utilize to help grow themselves, not just professionally, but also personally?
Well, one of the things that I teach, there's a few different mindsets that you get from adversity. And the first one is the victim mindset.
Oh.
You become a victim. This is happening to me. It's always bad. These things are going. We all know that guy, right? Like we all know him, but we all are there sometimes, right? And then it migrates to survivor mindset. Well, I can get through this and just deal with it, but there's still not enough there. And then we become what's called a warrior, where we feel like we can run through a wall and do anything, but still not a long-term play. Right. So when I'm looking at a problem and it's adversity, I come from the architect mindset. Like, what am I going to learn from this? How can I build on this? Is the universe testing me? Because I talk about this a lot, being tested this is what you really want. Is this what you really want? Because it will. The universe will test you. God will test you when you say, I want to become this, this, and this. They're going to throw curveballs at you to make sure it's what you really want. Right? So know that most of the time when we're in challenging spots, we asked for that. We asked for it, Yeah. And there's so many.
I sometimes question, did I really ask for that? Shoot. Because we don't know sometimes where the challenges may lie, but it does grow you without a doubt. And I like what you say, that you're always in pursuit of growth. Otherwise you're like, people ask why I still race professional motocross at 60. It makes me feel alive. It makes me train. It makes me focus. It also is my release. That's the one thing I could do that I don't think about work. So, find your passion and lean into it. And your passion, I can tell, Chris, is just overcoming, challenging yourself and overcoming that. I mean, you're an inspiration. And so on that note, what legacy do you hope to leave through your coaching, speaking, writing, and podcast?
Man, I think on the legacy side of things, I want people to say that Chris helped me become this next version of myself. Chris played a pivotal role in that, right? And whatever that is. I volunteer. I'm the mental toughness and performance coach for a really good football team here in town. And maybe it's one of those kids that I impact with legacy, or it's anybody else that I talk to, but I would love for that to be my legacy, to be known as Chris was there to give me some advice and help me navigate some turbulence. I think that's more valuable than anything else.
It's super valuable. Oh my goodness. That's a great one. I love that. Okay. So before we go to our rapid fire, can you explain who your ideal client is that you're helping today? So that a lot of our listeners may go, that's me. Yeah. Because you're not coaching everybody. You're coaching a specific one. Just like in Momentum Bar, we've changed our game. You'll see our promotions now are like, Momentum is not for everyone. It's for those that are committed and willing to invest in themselves to grow. That's who we want in the Momentum Builder community. The ones that don't want to put in the effort, I don't want the distraction, to be honest with you. So I'm learning who my clientele base is, as those we can help elevate from tier to tier to tier is our goal. Yeah. So what would you say your ideal client, who you're helping the most right now, and who should be reaching out to you?
Yeah, let me start with who I'm not first. Can I do that?
Yeah, I love that.
I'm not the ideal guy to help you open your mortgage practice and help you get up to 10 or 15 million. I can do all those things, but that's not the highest and best use of my time.
Right there.
My ideal client, the people we're having the most success with, were already producers when they came to me. Minimum of 40 million or so, minimum. Because the first thing is they know how to work and do certain things. They just need a little bit of extra stuff to get to the next level. They can afford to pay for it, which is always good. Yeah. And people that want to grow their business and be more present with their family. And here's the last key. They want to keep more of the money they make. I'm a whiz on a financial statement.
Nice.
Okay. I'm a big P&L guy. So most of our gains this year have been helping people keep 20, even 30% more of the money they've been making than they did the previous year. Right. So imagine, I want to do 100 million because I make X. What if we stayed at 70 million, but you made 30% more? Okay. Right.
And
so
you have more time with your family.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are the people I like to serve the highest. And I coach a lot of originators, but I also coach a land developer, a CEO of a building supply company. I coach a couple top producing real estate agents, and it's all the same stuff. But the last part of that is I will like to work with people that are transparent. And what I mean by that is if I got on a call today, Don, and you're my coach and I'm the client, and I say, Don, I just need some advice outside of the work today. This is what's going on in my life. I want people to get on the call and be okay to do that. And I think that's where the big relationships are built in the coaching space.
No, you hit the key word. It's relationships. It's not a job. It's building relationships, understanding who you serve, and understand how to get them to the next level, as you said. And that's why you're successful. And that's why you're, I tell people I'm very fortunate momentum builder over the last 8 years in building this. My legacy play is momentum builder, to give the resources to our industry so that they become successful easier and faster. Because we supply, because everything is so fractured out there. You're like, who do I choose? How do I know who do I trust, and so forth. We're a momentum builder. We're putting that all together. We're like, hey, here's great coaches like Chris, like Dustin. People that are good people, and you're a giver. And I'm surrounded by a lot of giving mentality. Those who are very successful, I've found, are givers. They're not worried about, why would they give me all the secrets? We were just on a call where 4 of my rock stars all gave their secrets. And everybody's like, why would they do that? They're not worried about you taking their business. They've already built their platform and their processes. They're not worried about it, so they're willing to help others. So, yeah, and you're a perfect example of that, Chris. And you've been a great inspiration in my life already. And it's a lot of times who you know and who you surround yourself with. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Very cool. All right, let's have some fun.
Right, let's go.
Fire 2 minutes. All right, because I better get your pen and pencil out, because you're going to want to write these down. All right, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book is always the book I'm currently reading.
Oh, sneaky answer, but a good one.
Well,
that's so true, because I'm that guy. I'll be like, this is the book. This is the book. And Gino's like, yeah, you said that 2 months ago. I go, it was then.
So I'm reading the 1-page keynote by Brian Miller. And it's just helping with some of my speaking stuff. But I'm a big, like I tab the pages like my grandmother's old Bible, right? Like I can go back and look at things. So all the books that matter look like this. They're stuck in my cabinets behind me. But it's always the book I'm reading. I mean, I read every day. So it'd be so hard to just say, this book 6 years ago changed my life. Well, I don't know.
I went down. It was funny. I sat up one night because I got on a roll till 3 a.m. on my phone, thinking of every book that has changed me throughout my career at certain times. It was like 50 to 60 books, because I'm an avid reader or Audible. And so books are important. They inspire me. They give me new ideas all the time. I'm an open book like you. I've been humbled about 100 times in our industry. So I like learning. Okay. Question 2, best advice you've ever received.
Best advice I've ever received. When I had to think about that this morning, just be the best version of yourself. Just be you.
Be authentic.
Yeah, be you.
We're finding, isn't that true? Probably with your interviews, I guarantee, on your podcast, those who are open and honest and authentic are probably your best interviews, I would imagine.
Without a doubt.
In TED Talk, they talk about that. I read the book because I'm learning my speaking skills as well, trying to polish them up. And the TED Talk was very interesting because they talked about that. What is a good TED Talk? And so many people want to have a TED Talk so bad that they actually fabricate like what they're going to talk about, but it's not authentic. And according to the book, they talk about the guy who runs the whole thing. He goes, everybody sees right through it. Everybody sees right through it. You could be the best orator and have all it, but was the story real and was it compelling? And that was interesting. I'm like, that's really interesting that you need to really care about what you talk about, and it's got to be sincere and real. It can't be fabricated because you only have 18 minutes, so it better be good.
You got 11 minutes.
Oh, is it 11?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
So you speak from the heart. I mean, when I'm on stage,
Boom.
I speak from the heart. You know?
Okay. One word that defines success?
Significance.
Oh, I like it. Morning routine you must have.
Yeah. So I'm a weirdo. My morning routine. I if I don't do it, it really messes my day up. But I'm a cold plunge guy. I cold plunge. I journal. I read every morning, and I do a gratitude exercise every morning.
I love the gratitude. I've been working on that myself.
Here's the kicker part of it. I do all of those things before I pick my phone up.
Yeah, you have to, don't you?
Because if you pick your phone up, you take on the world's problems.
Yeah,
and
let
me get some wins under my belt first before I help you.
And that sets up your day for success. Because I know, like we talked about, like I do my workouts always before start my day, and I've never gone to the gym and said, I wish I didn't do that. Even though I'm tired when I get out of bed and I don't want to go, but I've never left the gym going, I wish I didn't do that. Every time it gets me pumped up. I'm pumped because I did it. I feel good. It gets my adrenaline going and my endorphins up, and I'm ready to charge the day. Yep. And so that's a good thing. Morning routines have changed more careers. That's the 5 a.m. work club, How Elrod's, Miracle Morning. I can go on and on. It totally changed because I was a night owl. Now I start my day early, and I get more done by 10 a.m. than most people do in an entire day.
Yeah.
All right. What are you most excited about right now?
Right now, I'm
other than being on this podcast.
Yeah. Besides that, I'm most excited about finishing my next book. Yeah. And it'll be out. We're going to release it at Momentum Builders. We're going to release it there. So. Ooh. Yeah, it's going to be a big deal.
I was going to try to get mine done by then, but I realized, in fact, I'm bringing Roy Vaden, who's the brand building
Love
expert.
Roy.
He's going to be on our stage, by the way. I'm like, really?
Awesome.
Yeah, he's one of the best brand builders in the world, bar none. And I'm taking his classes. I'm training with him about building my brand from Momentum Builder and also how to publish my book correctly. And once I got in his class and started learning about it, I'm like, I need to push my date back so I can do it right.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm going to make the same mistakes a lot of publishers make, which we've all seen where the book doesn't go anywhere, So I have to push my back, but it's all about building, maintaining, resetting, and scaling momentum. That's what I'm the momentum guy. That's what I do. And it'll include a workbook, So nice. I love that you're writing a book. I can't wait to read it. I'm glad you're going to release it at the event. What's the power of being at live events, by the way? Because a lot of people are so fragmented over the last 5 years, especially since COVID. They're like, oh, I can just get my content online versus being there live.
I go to events and I have an agenda. So before I get to the event, I have a list of people I want to meet. And it's not necessarily the speakers, but it's the other people in VIP seating. It's the other people that go to the special events. I literally have a list of who it is I want to meet. And I've got my list together for Forward. I'm going to go to that event here in a few weeks.
I'll see you there.
Yeah. I have my list of who it is. Right. And Brian Miller's
better be on that list.
You're on the list?
I better be.
Well, I think we are. I feel like we already met. But,
but you know what? You have to meet. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. People have to meet. Yeah. Oh, no. We'll see each other for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Last thing, if listeners remember one thing from this conversation today, what would that be?
Adversity is a requirement for growth.
Boom. Mic drop. Holy cow. That was great. Chris, thank you so much. How can they find out more and follow you and find out more about what you do, how you do it, about your podcast? Share a little bit about that.
The best way would be to go to chriswelton.live. That's my website. Everything's there. You can also follow me on Instagram at One Hand at a Time, all spelled out. And I do respond to my DMs. It's not a AI robot or anything else. I do respond to my DMs. So sometimes it'll take me a few days to get to you, but I will respond to you. And those are the two best places to reach me.
What a great, I knew this interview was going to be Rick and Rockstar status. I could not wait. I've gotten pearls from it. And that's when I know it's a good interview, is when I'm like, I took notes. I've gotten some value out of it. I hope all of you got something out of it. Replay it and share it with your friends, because this is valuable stuff. This will change people's lives. And isn't that what we're really all about? When you go for a higher purpose, it makes everything better. So make sure you share this. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, our Instagram, our LinkedIn. And then, of course, you can find these on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Everything's momentum builder. So it's pretty easy to find us, but be part of our community. We're going to help each other all level up and rise, right? What they say, rising tides, you know?
Yep.
And Chris, thank you for being an integral part of our community. And I look forward to you helping more of our community, all handle adversity in a better way and improve their personal and professional lives. And that's what we're all about. So thank you very much, Chris, man. You're the man.
I appreciate it so much. Thanks for having me.
All right. And thank you for being part of the Momentum Builder podcast. And make sure you check us out on YouTube, and you'll see lots of great interviews just like this. I don't know if it can be much better than this one, though, Chris. So thank you for being on our show.
You've been listening to the Momentum Builder podcast. For resources and next steps, check the show notes. If today's conversation brought you value, please rate and review the show. It helps more professionals like you to find it. Because this isn't about motivation for motivation's sake. It's about creating real momentum. We'll see you next time.